SnoopayFiasco.
Hey guys, welcome back to Gyal's kitchen. Oh, you see my remote in my hand. Anyways, I'm gonna do my first get ready with me video. I did my eyebrows off campus. I did my eyebrows off camera. I don't know if I'm the only girl that struggles with this, but it takes me forever to do my eyebrows. Like, I need my eyebrows perfect. I'll take it off, put it back on, edit it, do it over and over again until I get it exactly how I want. I'm not going out if my eyebrows don't come out how I want it to. So I recorded that off camera because that would have took up the whole video. But anyways, I'm also gonna do a little story time. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny back then. I'm sure my parents still would not find it funny. But whatever, we're gonna get started. I always use Fenty primer, but I started to use Milk. I actually got this as a sample with one of my Sephora packages. I never tried it until one of my friends told me that it was really good. One of my friends who has oily skin just like me. And it literally like a facelift with your face. So I got the travel size from Sephora to see how I like it. I actually really do like it though, but I still like my Fenty. This one I remember it today, but I always forget to use it, and I usually don't remember it till like after I'm finished doing my makeup that I needed to use that primer. So I'm gonna use this primer, and I'm going to use my Neutrogena Hydro Jelly water gel. Sorry. My best friend Stacy, she put me onto this. She has dry skin, I have oily skin, but I never use like a moisturizer on my skin. So I'm gonna use this. Guys, my nail tech is really like a beast. I did these nails on February 20th before I got sick, and they're still on right now. It's March 26th. Like, my appointment is next week, but I refuse to go to anybody else. This nail is dangling off. You know that feeling when everything keeps getting caught under the nail? It's very annoying, and I'm trying to hold on to it for dear life because I hate walking around with a nail messing. But I might have to take it off because it keeps getting caught in my hair. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna set my face with my Fenty setting powder. I just do this because, like I said, I have very oily skin. Right now, my skin has been pretty cool because we're transitioning into spring. So I really haven't had any issues, but I'm going to set my face a little bit with this powder, especially since I just put on the Hydro Jelly moisturizer. Okay. And the foundation I use, I love. I love Rihanna, so I'm going to buy everything Rihanna. But Fenty Beauty, my color is 350. I think that this color is pretty dark for me right now because, like I said, I'm transitioning from winter to spring. This is more so my summer color, but I never put any other color, to be honest. I made it work. It still works for me, so whatever. So anyways, y'all. So back in 2017, I was in a very toxic relationship. We were both the toxic ones though. Like, I don't even know where I got that from because I never used to be like that. But when I got to college, I just got into some crazy shit. Like, and it's all a learning experience. Like, I'm glad those things happened when I was younger, but I do wish that those things never happened. So to make a long story shorter, the person I was with at the time, we were going through a lot, and he was mad at me. But the thing that was very manipulative was that there were times we were always together, and then when he would leave and go to his crib, he didn't want to talk to me. So I was kind of puzzled because I was just like, do you want to talk to me? Do you not want to talk to me? Because when you're here, we're perfectly fine. But when you leave, you hate me. So which one was it? So that whole week we were pretty good. We were together basically, I think, the whole week, which I could remember. I really can't, but I remember us being together like for a few days. And now it's like Friday, it's the weekend, we're in college, you know, all the mixes is going on, all the parties are going on, and everybody went to this club called Bubba's, which is now Allure in Delaware. So I remember texting him that day and he didn't reply. So I'm just like, we doing this shit again? Like, come on, like, I'm having mixed feelings because if we're not gonna be together, we're not. If we are, we are. But I don't want to keep doing this back and forth with you. Like, which one is it? So now, you know, I'm intoxicated. I'm super drunk. I'm calling him, texting him. He's not replying. I'm like, you know what? I feel like something's wrong. Deep down inside, I knew nothing was freaking wrong. Like, I knew it. I'm just like, nah, something not right. I'm pulling up. And at the time, I can't say I never used to do pop-ups because I did. But I usually did it with somebody else. That time, I'm like, nah, I'm leaving. So it's my friends like, Bria, look, it's mad reggae music playing. Stay, you hear the music, because they knew that I was up to no good. And I'm here like, no, I'm leaving. My Uber's already outside. They like, Bria, but it's reggae. This your song. I know at the back of their heads, they probably just like, nah, she's really wilding, bro. Like, if she just don't stay. In no time, they turned their back. I was gone. I was already halfway there. I'm just like, I'll see you later. I'll see you guys later. Anyways, I pull up to the crib. I'm knocking on the door. And I hear voices. So I know for sure that somebody's home. But I hear a girl voice. And a girl voice sounds familiar. I'm like, oh, this voice sounds way too familiar. So I'm on the phone with my best friend. I'm like, listen. And my two other best friends, they didn't live in Delaware. They didn't go to DSU with me. They stayed in New York. So one of them didn't answer. So I call Amber. I'm like, Amber, like, I swear to God, if it's a girl here, I'm wildin'. I don't care. Of course. Of course, yeah, it was a girl there. So the voice was too familiar. It was his ex. And me and his ex, we never met before. But it was always like a rivalry because we were like in this love triangle. And it was very stupid of all of us to even be in. Mainly us two as girls fighting over this person. And, you know, we're young. Like, everybody does dumb stuff. But, like, this was freaking stupid. Like, and I would say I was the stupid because this was, like, my first, like, real encounter with, like, loving somebody, sleeping with them all the time. When you're home and you're a teenager, that doesn't happen. When you go to college, you know, things are different. Now it's like an obsession. Like, now you're territorial. When you're in high school, well, to be honest, me in high school, I really didn't pay attention to guys like that. Like, I was always a single friend. I was just on my bully. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care too much about guys. I'm using Tarte in the color medium tan golden. I don't even remember getting this color. I can't remember ever buying this color because this one had a whole other color. Anyways, back to the story. So I'm like, Amber, I know this is here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So now, like, I'm not replying to nobody answering me because I'm outside arguing out the door. Like, come outside, come outside. You said it was on site when you see me, so it's on site. Like, come on, like, what you waiting for? And my friends are like calling, texting me, and I'm not replying. And Amber was like, yo, like, I don't know the address, but I know he live in the same complex as so-and-so. But I don't know the building number, but I know it's across the street from this building. I literally, like, replied back. I'm just like, it's the apartment is so-and-so. So me and a girl arguing through the door because sis didn't want to come outside. And he didn't open the door either. He just like, Bria, leave. I'm like, I'm not leaving. Open the door. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna bang here all night if I have to. So I hear his friends in the background like, Bria, just leave. I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. So I'm like, bro, I'm not leaving. Like, I don't know why y'all wasting your breath. Just open the door so I can shake. That's it. Like, sis was always subbing me on social media, saying when she see me, it's on site. Always just trying to, like, embarrass me or something. I'm not a person that argues over social media. I don't speak. I just act. So I'm like, all right, when I see this girl, she better keep the same energy. Like, literally, she better keep the same energy. I don't speak. Like, I'm getting straight to the point. So, of course, they didn't want to open the door. Next thing you know, I hear footsteps. It's the cops. So now I'm hurt because I'm just like, bro, we from New York. Like, we don't get the cops involved in anything. Like, anything. Especially when it comes to, like, a female. Like, I'm like, this is what it came down to. And what made it worse was that the cop was like, oh, so-and-so said that you're his crazy ex. So now I'm crying because I'm just like, yo, what? Like, this is, granted though, I was a little bit on the crazy side, but so was he. So I'm just like, well, I would never say that about him. Like, I'd probably say that to my friends, but not like a stranger, not a cop. So now the cop is looking at me crazy. And I'm just hurt. So I'm like, you know what? I mean, I have no choice. I'm leaving. So as I'm leaving, I'm outside crying like a baby boo-hooing. And I'm waiting for my Uber. I swear, like, one foot was in the Uber. Like, literally, like, getting in the Uber. And all I see is lights shining behind me. And all I hear is, like, God. Nah, that's what I said in my head. Because I was mad smacked. I'm like, who? But I know the voice. They like, Bria, it's Laura. My other best friend, I love her so much. She's like, Bria, it's Laura. And I'm like crying, like, he said I'm his crazy ex, blah, blah. She was like, I'm here now. What you trying to do? I'm like, oh, you know what I'm trying to do. She was like, all right, we back upstairs. So story just goes back to regular schedule for me. Niggas think we left. We didn't leave. We was outside still. The worst thing that happened was my best friend would come because my best friend would tell me that I'm wrong, but they're going to shake first. And then later on, we'll talk about it and I'll take my L. And like that part was so funny because I literally was like getting in the damn Uber and all I hear is a familiar voice like, Bria, what you trying to do? We not leaving. I'm like, I'm not trying to leave. You know what I'm trying to do, sis. Like, come on. Like, now I'm fully sober. So we go upstairs, banging on the door, and they like, I thought the cops came. I thought I told you to leave. Then they hear Laura's voice. They like, nah, she done brought Laura. I'm like, yes, we brought Laura. It's two of us now. So what's up? Open the door because we're not leaving now. Like, you're gonna call the cops again? We're not leaving now. Anyways, long story short, we're outside arguing and him and his friend come outside and it was just mixed. Like, it was just getting worse. The girl never came outside. The girl's still yelling through the door. Like, I'm not even gonna say the word. Like, it's no beef or nothing, but still, like, at the time it was beef. Like, it was dumb beef. Like, it shouldn't even have been beef. It was only beef because we was messing with the same guy for years. Like, his fault, our fault, whatever. We were young and we were dumb. But we went upstairs and the conversation just got worse and worse. Him and his friend came outside. We're arguing, going back and forth. He pushing me, I'm pushing him. I'm crying like, why would you do that to me? Like, I don't understand. Like, all this stuff we've been through. She arguing with a friend. It's just, the girl never came outside. And that's why when I really tried to run in the crib and she would not come outside. And if it was the other way around, I would have been outside from jump and he better been behind me to shake. Like, I guess he was trying to protect her, which hurt me even more. And I don't know what I expected anyways, but the moral of the story is sis was on Twitter, social media all the time, subbing me. And when I finally pulled up, you call the cops. Okay. So after the words get exchanged, I'm still outside going. Like, I was literally outside on some, like, now we arguing through the door because I'm like, oh, you, I'm not even gonna curse on here because all type of people watch this, but I'm here like, bro, you swear you want to fight but you never come outside, so this is why on this day he texts me. I'm literally reading messages that he said about her to me, like talking shit about her. And I had told him before, like, I don't want to hear you talking shit about her because you're still going to talk to her, bro. Like, so what does that have to do for me? But I kept those messages just in case she ever had something that she wanted to say, because I keep receipts. I have messages from like 2015 on my phone. Like, don't play with me. So I'm literally looking mad. I'm at the door like, oh, on this day, he said this and that, and you're ugly. You're not going to come outside, blah, blah. And he's at the door like, Bria, okay, just leave. So now me and my best friend weak because he know it's true. Like, he know he could not deny that. And I'm pretty sure she know it was true because I was reading it word for word for word for word in my phone. Like, there's no way, like, she could have denied it. So my best friend is like, Bria, let's go now. Like, now you're ODing. I'm like, I'm done. I'm leaving. I just had to get that out, whatever. I'm like, sis, you won. It's okay. As I'm going down the stairs leaving, I fall down the steps. I thought I was sober, but I wasn't. I definitely fell down the steps. I'm really weak because I pictured that day in my head like it was carpet steps. I think they was on like the 3rd floor, and I literally like was still yelling, like still going like, yeah, and that's why I don't care. And I stepped, and I literally like fell down like 5 steps. Yo. And my best friend, she here like, Bria, and if you talk to him again, I'm never gonna be your friend again. I'm like, you got it. You don't have to worry about that. That's all I needed to know. Like, but it was mad funny how he said it because it was like we was talking. Oh, it's like I'm not gonna be your friend. I'm not gonna be your friend. And I'm just like, no, you're still gonna be my friend. But I'm like, because you say you're not gonna be my friend, I'm never talking to him again. It looks like I didn't shave my armpits, y'all, but I did. This lighting is so bright in my room, it just looks dark. Alright, I'm ODing. So anyways, back to the story, y'all. Let me set my face real fast. This is the Urban Decay all-nighter. Love this. I don't think I've used any other setting spray. Oh, I used Elf. Not as strong to me, and I hate the Morph one. Oh my god, because I have oily skin, that Morph one gives me like a dewy look. I couldn't even figure out what it was one day, and then I just happened to like not use it when I did my makeup one day, and I'm just like, this is it. I hated the Morph one so bad. Back to the story. So I go back to my crib. We in the car laughing, and I just burst out crying because like all the emotions are just hitting me now. Like, I'm just like, damn, like I really pulled up to this nigga crib, this guy's crib, and he was with his ex, the girl he keep telling me not to worry about. And it's just like, damn, like he's playing with my emotions. Earlier this week we was together the whole time, and then he brings her out here to Delaware because she didn't go to DSU. She brings her out here. He tried to move sus, and then they call the cops on me. Like, that was very crazy to me. So I go back to my crib, and I'm just crying in the bathroom. And Laura, being the regular great friend she is, that always has to deal with my BS. You know, she's there comforting me, and it was like so much friends in my room, and I just came out there. I'm like, everybody get out. Like, just get out right now. This is not the time I want to be around anybody. Like, I didn't even mean to be rude, but like, I just could not even take it anymore. So anyways, this is really crazy. Anyways, now I'm knocked out. I'm passed out drunk, and I wake up to text messages like, oh, the cops is in front of your door. So I'm like, what? So they're like, last night, like, the cops were banging on your door, but you were probably like drunk, so you didn't hear it. I'm like, no, I didn't hear any cops. So now I'm about to like go out to get some food, and the cop is at my door. So they're like, oh, are you Bria? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I need to talk to you. So I'm like, oh, you want to come inside? He's like, no, I have to take you in. So I'm like, what? And he was just like, oh, your ex-boyfriend said that you bit him and we told you to leave and you didn't leave. So I'm like, I bit him? I'm like, bro, I never bit him. Like, what? So I'm texting my best friend, like, yo, did I bite him? She's like, bro, you never touched him. Like, I'm not understanding. So now I'm crying because I'm in the back of a cop car. He didn't put me in handcuffs or anything, but it was very embarrassing. Like, I don't know who saw it. It was really early in the morning. Of course, my roommate saw it because my roommate. But I don't know who else, like, saw it out their window, but I was embarrassed. And my phone was dying and everything. When I get to the precinct, that's when they put the handcuffs on me and they, like, processed me or whatever. But I didn't have to stay overnight or anything. Like, I just had to tell my side. And then I was able to leave. But I was told that I had, like, a temporary restraining order against me until our court date. So I was just, like, in a very dark space, y'all, because never in a million years did I think I was going to get arrested. Like, little old me, Bria. So that just made me reevaluate myself, because I'm just like, I keep getting into trouble with this person. Granted, it's on both sides. I'm doing crazy stuff. He's doing crazy stuff. And it's driving me crazy. I'm losing my character. Like, I'm just looking a damn fool. And I didn't tell my parents for like a year probably because I was scared. I told my sister. My parents didn't find out until I was interviewing for a job and they had to do the background. And my sister was like, yo, you need to tell them because they're going to run your background. They're going to ask what this is because it might pop up. So I'm like, I'm not telling them. You tell them. So she told them for me, and of course they were upset because I kept getting into trouble with this person. And it's just like, you know, I'm like, they know me as a good girl. Like, before college, I wasn't getting into trouble like that. I was always cool with people. Granted, in college, I was still cool with people, but this just brought like so much drama, and they just had to keep dealing with it over and over and over again. So I could see why they used to be so mad at me before. Of course, then I'm just like, no, like, I love him, blah, blah. But now that I'm older, I'm just like, damn, Bria, like, you really used to be in some shit. And I see why they were really disappointed with me at the time. Anyways, y'all, back to the story. This was just like a lesson learned for real. Like, we had this restraining order. I had to leave, like, every place that he came into. Like, for example, like the student center, if he came in, I had to leave. Or we went to a party, I had to leave. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really follow those rules. I'm just like, there's no way we go to the same school and you telling me that I have to leave. I could guarantee you I'm never talking to him again for the fact that, you know, he got me into trouble like this. I never would have gotten into trouble like this. And yeah, like, I was like, you have nothing to worry about. But that's the court order and that's what I had to follow. But I followed it to a certain extent. Granted, I didn't even want to be around him at the time. So most of the time I did leave because I just didn't want to see him, because I just could not take the hurt. Like, I'm just like, I just can't believe this. Like, and those few months were just like, I was just like in a dark space. I was probably in a dark space for years, like, because of that. Like, it was just like something I just kept replaying in my head. Like, why the hell would you do that? Like, you're a girl that has so much going for you and you have like a record now for some dumb shit. Crazy. But anyways, he actually reached out to me like within a month to apologize and explain to me that he wasn't the one who called the cops and that he would never do that. And I never replied to the message. One, because I didn't feel like I need to, but two, at the end of the day, whether you called it or not, you let her call the cops. If it was the other way around and I was cheating and I had a guy and he said he was calling the cops, I would have been like, no, you're bugging out now. Like, you're not calling the cops. Like, that's one thing. Like, you're not calling the cops. Unless he has a gun to you, unless he stabbed you, unless you're dying or something, we'll call the cops. But not when it's something so light that could just be handled. Like, no. You let her call the cops and now you let her win. Not saying I had to win, but like, damn, like, you let her win and you made me look very dumb. I was super embarrassed and I can't let that go. Like, forgive him now, because you have to forgive people. But that's something that I'll just like probably never get over, especially for the fact that going forward with jobs that I had after college, every single job had to take my fingerprints. And that came up, and I thought it was very embarrassing that they see like this nice pretty girl that looks so sweet. Well, I think I look sweet, but you would think like, oh, is this pretty girl that I have that I'm going to interview, she's a nice candidate, and then you're about to hire me, and then you see that I have a record for something dumb. So I went to court like 3 times because of that. The first time they said that it was failure to comply, like I didn't go. When he sent me the message trying to apologize, he told me like, oh, he dropped the charges. So automatically I thought I did not have to go because I've never been to court before. I'm just like, okay, he said it, he dropped it, so I don't have to go. The second time is when I got my first real job when I graduated college at a bank. I got hired, I went through training and everything, then my fingerprints came back and I had to go to court to clear it. Can y'all believe that everybody in that court did stuff way worse and they let everybody go? I was the last person. I sat in there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with no phone, nothing, because you could not bring a phone in court. I sat in there for freaking 8 hours with nothing to do, just twiddling my thumbs, just listening to everybody's dumb case. And when it came to me, he just like, why'd you then come to court? And I'm just like, I never got into no trouble before, bro. Like, he told me I didn't have to come, so I didn't come. And he's just like, oh, I forgot what he said. He just said something like, oh, I will have to pay a fine, but they're going to give me another court date. Something like that. At the end of the day, I thought that he's going to just fine me and I was going to go. No, I had to pay the fine and I had to go to another court date. So now I'm just like so annoyed because I'm just like, damn, like, well, not even annoyed. I was scared because I thought I was going to lose my job. So I just had to get these paperwork to kind of show like the charges were dropped. The third time I went to court, I was panicking because I didn't want to see him. I'm just like, nah, like I'm still not over it. It's only been like probably like 6 months. And I don't know how I'm going to feel, like what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say when I see him in court. But I waited that day for like 3 hours and the public offender, he came to me and said that he didn't show up, that he said that the charges were dropped. So I was excited, but it was like a relief because I'm just like, I really did not want to see this boy. But then I did, just for closure. I'm not a person that needs closure, but it's done with. But still to this day, every job I get, that comes up, and it's very, very embarrassing. Like, it's super embarrassing for me. But lesson learned, don't lose yourself over a guy. Don't change your character because of a guy. I don't know where I got these crazy senses from because I never ever used to be like that, and I feel like I've learned how to control it. That was really like an eye-opener. Like, even before the whole arresting thing, like I was getting into trouble in that relationship. But this part was like the icing on the cake, and it's like I needed that to happen for me to like work on myself, be a better person, grow as a person, because I was just always getting into BS. I know my family was tired of me. I know my friends were tired of me, always trying to get me out of foolery, always having to come pick me up. Guys, I'm sorry. That's all I want to say. I'm sorry. It was entertaining at the time, but it was not worth it at all. And it wasn't worth our mental health for any of us on both sides, me and him. And we both knew that, you know, our time was under each other before that even happened, but we kept trying, and I guess that's what made it worse. But I learned better now. I don't think I'll ever lose myself over a guy. I feel like the only way that you're gonna get me to fight again is if like somebody's really trying me. And that don't be the type of time I'm on. Like, I'm a walk away type of person now, but there are some specific situations where you just want to put your hands on somebody, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, and my dad even said to me one day, he just like, when you're upset, like, do you think before you act? I'm like, yeah. What I think about is violence. That's what I think about, violence. I don't see nothing else but violence. But now, like, I give myself time to process things before I act. And that's what got me to calm down. Like, all right, Bria, remember that time when you did some BS? You don't ever want to do that BS again. You don't ever want to be back in that place again. Like, granted, it was a misdemeanor. I didn't have to go to jail or nothing. But it still was like, damn, like, this is how low I really brought myself. Like, I never thought I would be here ever in my life. So, I promise you, I would not lose myself over a guy again. And if it ever gets to that point, I'm gonna leave. It's gonna hurt. Because I love hard. Like, I'm a Pisces. Like, I'm a lover girl. But I would never let myself get to that. I feel like other people that I've dated after that, like, our time was short together. But granted, there were some times that I was acting out. But that means they took me there. But other than that, I would never, like, I would never get into that ever again. So ladies, know your worth. Do better for yourself. Realize that sometimes you are the toxic person too. I could admit to that. I was very toxic back then. Still have some toxic traits. Everyone does, but I'm working on it daily. Focus on you. Once you feel like you're losing yourself, leave. Like, literally. You should leave. Definitely should leave, y'all. Like, it's really not worth it at all. Like, it's not worth the headache. It's not worth losing your peace of mind. And it's definitely not worth getting arrested for and either getting denied from jobs or just them having to see, you know, them knowing that you have a record and them asking you what happened. Like, it's just very annoying. So I'm using my Rich Minx. These are lashes from my little cousin Dina. I'm gonna put her gram below. I recently just learned how to put on lashes. I always use individual lashes, but things happen, you know, like, I'm not even gonna speak on that, to be honest. Things happen. I do my lashes now occasionally. My little cousin also does lashes as well, but I just never knew how to put on lashes. But my friends put me on to this new technique. I don't know if it's new. It's new to me. I don't know if y'all ever use this technique, but basically, I'll show y'all right now. You put your lash glue on like mascara. Like eyeliner on your lash line. I always struggle putting on lashes on the right eye though. I don't know why. Okay. Put on the lash line. I use tweezers because I always have nails on. So put on the lash line. Literally just take your lash. See, I always struggle still though. That's because my tweezers had some glue from me yesterday. And boom. Just like that. These are cute. I don't remember what style this is. I'm gonna ask her. Ooh. That before and after is crazy. Then take my e.l.f. liner. Love this eyeliner, and I just put it on top because you're gonna see like a little bit of glue. Did I buy a navy blue eyeliner? I'm just peeping in the light. see. I did put a navy blue line. I didn't even peep. This side is a little bit harder for me. Boom. And It Cosmetics, I have mad mascara, but It Cosmetics has my favorite mascara. I'm gonna put it on my bottom line. Liner by e.l.f. in the color dark brown, I believe. I like e.l.f. because it's like the brush side and the twisty side.